So, dealing with negative emotions is hard enough for the average person. Now, for an HSP, it's that much harder because you feel emotions more intensely than most other people. So, whether that's fear or sadness or anger or jealousy, it's just going to be a bigger experience for you. And it can really take you down if you're not careful. So let's talk about what to do when this is happening for you. Let's say something happens in your life and you start to feel sadness. Now, what is that experience like for you? For me, it can be kind of like a sinking experience of just feeling less energized, smaller, maybe accompanied with some thoughts of, oh, I'm just, not so special kind of a thing. And here's the thing, it's actually not as big of a deal as you think. All of these negative emotions, they are transitory, they are impermanent, they are coming and then they are going. For all of us, this is how life works. There's this ebb and flow of our mood and our peace of mind. We can never quite just like get it to this happy, peaceful place and just keep it there. As much as our ego would like to be able to control the world in this way and maintain this state, it's just not possible. So, have you ever had this experience when you're having a really good day, really good week, and then all of a sudden something happens, and then boom, you just kind of take a little nosedive and you get upset, or sad, or frustrated, or anxious? I do. Sometimes that happens to me, and I go, oh man, why did I go to this event? If I had only not gone to this event, I wouldn't have had this emotional reaction. I'd be feeling good right now. Well, here's the thing. In terms of dealing with negative emotions, it's also good to look at how you're dealing with life. Are you allowing life to unfold as it is supposed to, or are you trying to control it? Are you attached to the good times and are you resisting the bad times? Because there's one thing that we know about resistance. It is that what you resist persists. It's my belief that this is what happens for a lot of people when they get depressed, is that events happen that causes sadness, and then instead of allowing the sadness to run its course by learning how to just surrender into it and just being in a state of grief, of somberness, of lower energy, etc., we can just kind of fight with it. We can resist it and try to just get rid of it, try to get ourselves out of it a little bit too actively. When we make it wrong, we reject it, and these emotions become very stubborn. They don't want to leave. So the way to deal with all negative emotions is to let them be, to accept them, to allow them to be, because it's just a part of life. And yes, I understand that it can be agonizing to feel sad, to feel anxious, to feel jealous, to feel angry. For HSPs, again, we feel this more intensely, so it can sometimes feel unbearable. But again, it's just a part of life. And you want to think about emotions like the weather or like passing clouds. This is something that they teach you in a lot of meditation practices, is to learn to observe your life, your thoughts, your emotions and feelings as just passing clouds. Because that's really how it is. A thought comes in, and then if you don't hold on to it, the thought just kind of goes. A feeling comes in, and if you just let it be, the feeling will come and the feeling will go. So, for example, if something happens and it's got you feeling a little bit low, Well, instead of trying to fight with it, getting upset or frustrated or beating yourself up would be the worst thing possible, is to just learn how to accept life as it is. Understand that everything that happens in the universe is perfect. On some level, everything that is unfolding is actually okay. And that allows you to more easily accept these experiences. So if sadness comes in, don't resist it, don't fight it. You want to just allow it to be there. And if that means that you have to change your plans a little bit for the day, so be it. If you had wanted to be out and about and more social and lively and this and that, but in your sad emotion, you're not feeling that level of energy to do that, then then don't. You know, sadness is a great opportunity for introspection, for reflection. It's a great time to journal, to try to understand these feelings a little bit better from a very objective point of view. It can be a good time to have a conversation with a trusted friend or counselor to, you know, just get some feedback and helpful reflections, or to just, just share what's on your heart. And then you just kind of you make the most of it. You indulge in this energy for the time being. Maybe you read a book that would be very supportive of this kind of a mood. And then you just be patient. Then you just, you get cozy, you get comfortable, and you kind of just wait it out. And in order to wait it out, you have to also understand that this is how this works, so that you can develop the trust and the faith that by actually being relatively passive and inactive in getting rid of this emotion, that is what is going to allow it to pass. And so this is what is a little bit counterintuitive. In our Western culture and society, we're often told that we need to take a very active stance to go get rid of something, when the more inactive, surrendered approach can be called for. So whether this is sadness or anger or anxiety, again, patience is the key, and surrender to allow yourself to feel the emotion. There is a great opportunity here for healing some part of yourself that got aggravated, some wounded part. That's often where these emotions stem from, is a sensitivity got activated innocently by somebody else. Usually people aren't trying to poke us in our weak spots, but sometimes they do, and we get triggered. And when that happens, again, we want to just allow it to happen, allow the triggering experience to be there. And sometimes we do need to take corrective action. Sometimes the emotion of anger is actually a signal for us to communicate when boundaries have been violated. If you're feeling fearful or anxious, you may want to take actions to ensure your safety in a reasonable kind of a way. And if you're feeling sad, that can be a signal to just create a kind of a soft, comforting environment for you to land in. But other than that, once you've done these things, then you just let the emotion be present. You feel the sadness, you feel the anxiety, you feel the jealousy, you feel the anger, because it's the feeling of it that actually metabolizes it. So in order to metabolize these negative emotions and thereby healing parts of these wounded aspects, you have to become comfortable with feeling uncomfortable. This is one of the most powerful practices and concepts that you can adopt. Because let's be honest with ourselves, how often are we running from discomfort? This is the source of numbing. This is the source of addictions, of abusing substances, or any number of things to just not feel a negative emotion, which perpetuates it. You can stay with this addiction for the rest of your life and never healing these parts of you, which is very common, or you can realize that this emotion just needs to be metabolized. So, is this easy, what I'm asking you to do? Well, actually it is easy, but it's going to require you to be there with this pain. So, in practice, it's as easy as just literally sitting on the couch and just feeling the experience. But it's not so simple because the knee-jerk reaction is to get rid of it, to numb it, to hide it, to get it all, just get it out of your field of awareness. So that's it, guys. That's what I'm really trying to share today is the secret to dealing with negative emotions is to be patient and let it run its course, because it will, and the length of time that it takes depends on the size and extent of this wound or sensitivity. So if this is a big wound that requires more extensive healing and processing and metabolizing, then you might have to hang in there. And yeah, it can be tough. Sometimes these things don't heal in just an hour or two. In some cases, these experiences can last for days. And you just have to be willing to put in that work and to summon the courage and just to remember that this is the work that is going to ultimately set you free. Because think of this. Imagine that you adopt this as a practice. And so whenever something happens in your life, you're able to be present with it, metabolize it, heal this part of you, be better off for it. Well, here's the thing. You actually start to feel kind of invulnerable, right? Like a little invincible almost, because I'll share just from personal experience. I've come a long way with this practice myself, and now I feel like I can handle whatever life throws my way. Because the worst case scenario is there'll be some sort of event that will aggravate a sensitivity or a wound, and then I'll just have an opportunity to be with it, to heal it and to metabolize it, and to then, bounce right back to my happy self. Because that's what's waiting for you on the other side, is that happy, lighthearted, joyful self that you were enjoying maybe before this episode. You go right back to that state as soon as this emotion clears, and this is the fastest way back there as well. And not only are you getting back to this place, but your capacity for joy and happiness has now increased. So basically what this means is it's a win-win scenario. You win when an experience gives you a chance to metabolize difficult emotions, and you win once this emotion has cleared, and you're back feeling better than ever. So I really want to encourage you to give this a try. It's again, this is not the simplest work in the world because it requires this level of just faith and sincerity and humility, because sometimes you're gonna feel a little bit down for a little while, but if you stick with it and if you don't get too tangled up in it and you do take appropriate action, because there's any number of things that you can do to move this energy. That's the last thing that I want to say. It is also wise to sometimes move the energy, whether that is through exercise. That's great for anxiety or for anger. It can be, punching a pillow or screaming into a pillow. Sadness, it could be, sharing what's on your mind with a friend or a trusted counselor. So find ways to move the energy, but beyond that, just let it be there. Let the metabolizing experience happen so you can experience the healing that will set you free. And then you won't have to worry about being someone who feels emotions so strongly. Because the flip side, guys, is that you're feeling joy and peacefulness and contentment and all these positive emotions more strongly too. So this is just going to allow you to feel better and better and better and really feel great about the fact that you're feeling emotions strongly. So that's all, guys. If you are someone who is feeling stuck in your career, if you'd really like to identify your ideal career path, then go ahead and visit adamhardt.com to sign up for my newsletter to receive free career tips delivered to your inbox every week. I work as a career coach, helping people change their career and discover their purpose. So check that out if you're feeling called. And as always, go ahead and hit the like button if you found this content helpful, and hit the subscribe button if you'd like to receive more free content on how to thrive as an HSP. Thank you so much.